happy what is it, Wednesday one? I don't even know where I am right
yes.
now. So I need to tell everybody right now, if you share this out, then TC will get more taps on his tap thing. I'm pretty sure that's 100% made up, but the tap revolution is going like crazy. TC just sent me another one. But no, here's what I do know scientifically: if you share this video out with 3 of your closest friends, your karma will increase by 1,000 times. That also is made up. So anyway, we got Mike D from Waxdao here. I think anybody who's in the wax space has probably not only heard of Mike D, but is in some way, using some of the things that he's built. I mean, we get the opportunity to talk to a lot of wax OGs. It doesn't get a whole lot more wax OG than Mike D Crypto at all. So anyway, Mike, so glad we finally got you on the show. How the fuck are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. What an introduction. Thank you.
I think provably true, other than all that shit I made up before saying all the true stuff.
I hesitate to call myself a true OG just because I've only been around since a little bit over 2 years now. But I'd say OG of the past bear market for sure.
Dude, if you've been through a bear market, as far as I'm concerned, you're OG.
You're right.
Like that's like the people that survive those and decide to come back, like that's a special kind of crazy. Or like that we're doing it the whole time is even a bigger deal.
I started at the beginning of it. I started I believe I launched the very first Waxdao project on June 10th of 2022. So like 2 years ago last week.
Yeah. So yeah, you've been through the wars, and I think that counts a lot.
It's honestly been great, man, because it allowed me to establish a foothold as well. I think it's a lot harder to do that in the bull market because more people show up and there's more competition.
Yeah.
Yes and no, but yeah, maybe. But something I really liked and I still like about your project. Well, now you are also a guild, but something I really admire about how you started is that you did it the hard way. You started by building the tools, trying to find a business model, and only when things were not going as you expected, you turned out to become a guild. And I think that is exactly what Wax needs. There's a lot of projects that start by being a guild, or I'm going to be a big guild, then I build tools. And I really like when it's the other way around, because that shows that your mindset is let's build a business first. And that is what has potential to really help Wax and grow Wax in the future.
Absolutely, man. I think the reason for that is a lot of people get in the space to make money, which there's no problem with. I'm obviously here to make money too, right? I have no problem admitting that, but
no one should, right? Like
it's like the stigma around it is crazy, man.
It's weird. It's weird and wrong.
It started off for me as a passion project though, because I had never written a smart contract before I started Waxdao. So for me, it wasn't really about even building a business in the first place. It was just like, wow, look at all these things I can build. Oh my God, I have all these ideas. How has nobody done this yet? And then I just kept going and going. I was ready to give up about a year ago because, I was pretty much broke and there's not that big of a market on wax. So I captured pretty much 100% of the market share that I'm ever going to capture. And I had no way to expand beyond that. And then I realized I could become a guild, so that helped me to continue building.
Yeah, and I think that's very good, because in the end, that's exactly what Nifty Blocks had to do at some point also, and many projects have done that. But I think that we should really, and especially in these market conditions, well, even if Wax isn't doing that great, we are coming back to a bull market, and I think that we should all be working hard to promote Wax and making sure that we get back that beautiful audience that we had in 2021.
Yep.
And yeah, those were the good times.
They were, and they can come again. Damn it! I'm just gonna believe that until it happens.
Absolutely, man. I think a big part of that could be, more people just trying to join forces and stuff like that. It's hard during a bear market or even during a bull, everybody's trying to, do their own thing because we all have bills to pay and stuff. But I think the guilds could kind of be a powerhouse if more of us concentrated a little bit of force together.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see more of that. And it's a whole nother rabbit hole, to go down with like how the OIG scoring works and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's not really much of an incentive to collab because if you like open source your code and then someone else uses it, there's really no credit to the original guy. I really want to see
Yeah.
some change in things like that.
Yeah, but something that I realized recently, and I think specifically after our last guild report, I realized that I was falling in the trap of building things and doing things to get a better score as a guild. And I said, fuck, I'm wrong. That's not what I should be doing. I should be building things that have a potential to be a product, a profitable product, something where I can really have a business model around. I don't care about, it's nice being a guild and I will still continue working to be a guild, but we should be building stuff that has a potential to be a real product. And it's very, very easy to forget that. At some point, we are just building because we want to be part of the top 21. And that
Well, then,
shouldn't
like,
be the real goal.
right? Well, and if you're building things that ultimately end up becoming good, good for business, good for products or what have you, then I think there's probably a methodology there where you can kind of go from the back end and go, hey, what part of this can I open source that'll benefit the whole community, right? But then at least you're focused on the things that'll actually, because again, like if we don't build viable businesses, all this is for nothing. Right, like that's sort of where the only way any of this really works. And again, if you're an artist and you want to become, you just want to do music NFTs or whatever as a passion project, ignore everything I just said. None of that fucking matters. But at the same time, like you have the opportunity to do well if you change your focus.
I fully agree, and you really start to realize that during times like these. I think most guilds start off like at a low rank and then try to climb up, and that's a good way to start off. But once you're in a certain position where maybe you can afford to lose a couple of points, you start to realize sustainability is the most important thing because you look at Wax at 3.5 cents yesterday or whatever.
Jesus, right? Like that's like getting kicked in the balls.
And it's also like that was the first time in a long while that I've genuinely started to sit down and think like, man, this is not going to be here forever. There's a potential that this can't sustain itself at some point.
Yep.
And you have to have a sustainable business.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's just the way that is. What's up? How's it going, Gorbomir? Yep.
Yeah, but maybe I think that most of the people on Wax already know Waxdao and the tools that you have. But maybe you can just tell us in a nutshell what is Waxdao and what tools are available for the community there.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch. It's hard to sum it up in one sentence, but basically we started off with an NFT farms where people could stake NFTs. Most of you are familiar with Our Planet, but they had a selective criteria for like who could get listed on there back in the day. So I launched my own version where people can create their own NFT farms, and reward people for staking any collection and whatnot. Then I added token farms after, and now there's just so many tools. We have token lockers, escrow contracts, launch your own token like launch bags. We don't have a launch pad, but a token creator, NFT market tools and packs and whatnot. But generally speaking, I actually redirect people to Nefty and Hive for most of that stuff, just because I haven't given much attention to the creator tools in a while, just because it's not really my focus at this point. When I first made those, it was more, I guess I would say there was more of a need. That's why I actually originally started Waxdao. The first thing I was going to build was pre-minted packs because you guys were the only ones who had them. And but then Hive launched them, and then I just pivoted, and I just somehow ended up where I am now.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think it's a much better path, a much better approach, because if you have something that we don't have, it's better to collaborate and be complementary instead of competing against each other. I think the Wax audience, it's too small to try to compete for their attention.
That's a really good way to think about it. And really, we're spending most of our time now thinking about how to grow the pie instead of figure out how much of the pie we can get, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on the exact same page as you guys at this point. I would love to see more collaborating. I'm trying to collaborate with people more.
Yeah, and that said, I have to say that I'm a moron because we developed the token contract and the token deployer without thinking about using Waxdao's contract first. In my defense, I will say that we did that because we needed a very specific functionality of making that deflationary tokens and making tokens that were 100% configurable. And now that we have it, I think that what we want to do is open source it. So maybe at some point we can share the code with you, discuss it, and see if we can come up with a standard and make sure that we all adopt the same kind of standards in the future.
Absolutely, man. People are entitled to create their own projects. I don't take any offense to it, but absolutely moving forward, if you have any ideas for collaborations, I'm certainly open to it.
Well,
so
all right, let's dive into it. So the conversation we were having this morning, there's a lot of really complex, like all these the tokens we have so far, AI God and Wiener, and potentially the one that's coming next. But basically, like this transaction fee kind of thing that's been going on, right? They've got stuff going to EOSIO.null, so it's burned. But we have this rewards account that is getting filled up as people transact or move the token. And there's been a lot of really interesting ways to do it, right? Like there's like the Keck mining, which is very, very complex. And if you're a degen, you're loving all of that, right? There's a ton of shit going on there. But one of the things that I think Wiener's going to stand far more efficiently as just a straight up hilarious meme token, and I think they're going to focus on that, right? Like they're not necessarily focused on the kind of degen NFT, all sorts of crazy shit or whatever, right? But they've got this rewards account. So what I want to look into setting up for them is a contract whereby you can stake any amount of Wiener that you have, and that's basically going to set your percentage of the daily rewards. Like whatever comes in to the rewards account that day, is basically just going right back out to the people that are staking, right? And you can leave it in there for freaking however long you want, right? Like it becomes sort of your share in the entire sort of process, right? And the whole thing is you want to grow your Wiener. So anything that's coming in,
you want to grow your Wiener?
You got to grow your Wiener, man. You got to grow your
Corey, please.
You got to grow your Wiener. I don't make this. I didn't make the Wiener. I just want to grow the Wiener.
You shouldn't say that live.
Dude, it's a hot dog. It's a hot dog. Where's your mind right now? You sick bastard. Anyway, got to grow the Wiener. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at, right? And I was talking to Juan about is that something that we could build? He's like, yeah. Why don't we talk to Mike about it? Because he probably has something that is like that already.
Yeah, I actually just sent him a link on Telegram. I'm literally just wrapping up a contract that I wrote. It's actually 2 separate contracts, but
okay.
I redid the entire token farm contract for Waxdao, and then I set up a separate proxy contract, which I'm calling it the partner contract or whatever. So a partner could deploy that, and they could kind of act as like the middleman who has people create farms on their platform, and they're like the go-between. They execute all the transactions between the main contract and their end use. It's basically like deploy your own token farms, your own platform. I have a whole bunch of documentation that I just sent to Juan, and
cool.
It pays out every second. There's no scripts that need to run every hour like the old farms, and people could add up to 10 different reward tokens to a farm. It's going to be really awesome.
And can you add dynamically more tokens?
Yeah, so you can set a reward period anywhere from 1 to 30 days. You have to wait for the current reward period to end before you extend it and add new rewards, but you could set it to expire in a day and then just deposit and extend the reward the next day. You could also have different reward periods running concurrently. So you might have a 1-day reward. You could also deposit separate tokens as another reward and have those run for 7 days. You can get pretty complex with it.
That's fun. I think you know
Cool.
that the daily probably makes so and this is kind of where I want to look at it. I love the fact that we can actually make it more complex, but you know, the simpler that we can keep it for
Yes.
Wiener, I think the better, right? So like
Yeah.
the whole kind of cycle will be, you know, I'm buying more wieners so that I can stake more wieners so that I can, you know, have a bigger share of the rewards account that's paying out daily, right? I guess that kind of is sort of like might be the simplest way to think about it, right? Or is paying out every second or whatever, but you know gets sort of re-upped every day from, you know, however much comes into the rewards account or however much they want to put in there. They might want to do a percentage or something.
Yeah, so if you have like rewards coming in every day, you could probably set up a script or whatever just to transfer and extend the reward once per day.
Right, right.
And that's pretty much it. Everything else will happen automatically. People staking in the farm don't have to like stake to each different reward period or anything. They just leave their
They
tokens in
just
the
leave it in there.
farm. New ones come in and it just keeps rolling.
Yeah, that's definitely how we
Yeah.
want to do it. Like, yeah, 'cause especially considering like I think Wiener's going to have tons and tons of people come on board that know nothing about crypto, right? They're basically like they need to understand like here's the action, where can I go to look at my number go up, and that's all that's really going to matter, you know.
Yeah, it's also been really like I don't want to get too technical here, but I'm
Feel
sure
free. Most of us are nerds.
like I don't know, do you guys both code or are you just
No, Juan
okay?
does. I'm an idiot, but
Yeah.
there's people here that some people here that do.
Well, I've been getting it more into read only and action return values and stuff like that, and I set up a read only action for the contract that actually you can call the API and you could display the user's current pending rewards, even though they're not stored in the table, and so you could just keep
Oh,
refreshing that.
So
It's really awesome.
this goes back to and definitely always talk about stuff like that because I even understood that. I feel very excited about that. But
Yeah,
the you know one of the things that Juan and I are talking about, you know, there's obviously this whole, you know, clicker app thing, the Telegram thing that's kind of blown up. And that's one of the things that we want to not only deploy for ourselves and Launchbags, but make it this thing that can you know, bring in teams, have projects that are, you know, our partner projects or are launching on Launchbags or whatever, you know, have them be able to leverage this same kind of power that's getting millions of people, you know, onboarded into their apps. But even just having like that thing where we could display like, okay, you have your wiener stakes, right? You know,
yeah.
here's being able to show them like this is sort of how much your wiener is growing today is non-trivial. And again, like that's a very simple kind of thing that if we can then say, okay, for, you know, Anon is going to be the next token that drops, right? Like that, having that ability, they might want to do more complicated things. Great, have fun, go with God, right? But here's one thing that you can do that's going to then be able to integrate into this kind of onboarding, you know, app or experience that we're going to create or whatever. That callback that's fucking clutch. Like that, I'm excited about seeing that number go up, even just for myself.
yeah, I'm definitely excited for it too. It's pretty cool because you don't have to worry about, you know, one of the I wouldn't say it's a big issue, but one of the pain points with developing front ends for C++ smart contracts is trying to get the math to match. You have to reproduce the formulas on the front end, and JavaScript can only handle numbers that are so large. So then you need
Yeah.
TypeScript and Big Int and whatnot. And it's having an action on the contract that you can just call, and the contract itself actually does the math on chain, even though it's not actually submitted as a transaction. And then it just returns to you exactly what happens in the contract rather than you having to reproduce it on your front end. So it's really nice.
Yeah, that's really interesting indeed. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Fun.
I don't know. It's a bit geeky. I know.
No,
Yeah.
I'll say like this. I love being able to, like, anytime, you know, that comes up, don't hesitate, because if I don't get it, Juan's going to. And then I think like that's just going to help us figure out, you know, what are the kinds of things that people are building now. And obviously, anybody watching the show, like there's you know, lots of people that are you know, running projects in the space that you know, come on the show or watch every once in a while. And I think like that's just going to help people to understand how they might be able to collaborate with you as well. So it's just good shit, fucking rock and roll.
Yeah. So that is one of your tools, but I have a question. Your platform is called Waxdao. What do you have for DAOs?
Yeah, we do actually have the same concept as the deploy your own farms and tokens and whatnot. The DAO version, so people can create their own DAO and customize it on Waxdao. To take a step back, the name, I didn't have DAOs when I first started.
Okay.
I was just looking for the name for the website, and I was typing in short names, and I was like, Waxdao available? That seems, I can't believe no one has that. So I just took it. But yeah, but anyway, people can build their own DAO on Waxdao. You can have people vote with NFTs from your collection. You can set up a non-custodial NFT DAO where people could hold the NFTs in their wallet and vote with them and not even have to deposit them. You could do it with tokens, have people stake tokens in the DAO. You can customize it a lot. It's pretty cool.
And how does it work? You can create proposals, and then those proposals, they get voted with NFTs or tokens.
Exactly, and the DAO creator can customize the settings for the DAO itself. So if you want people to have like a minimum amount of tokens in order to be able to create a proposal, they can set that up a certain way, however they want. You can set a threshold for like how many percentage of the votes has to be in favor in order for it to pass. There's also treasuries built into it, so people can deposit tokens and NFTs into the DAO treasury, and the only way that they can come out is via a vote passing, a vote that meets, the guidelines of the DAO. And if that vote passes, the transaction will automatically execute when it's finalized and send the tokens to the address that was proposed. So people could actually like manage funds for a project within the DAO.
That's
Cool.
huge. I've been thinking about this for a long time. Somebody brought it up. Like Ethereum just drives me fucking mental. Wax maybe spoiled me. I don't know what it is, but like we launched the Uplift DAO token over there, and I think it's just completely fucking useless. Like I want to figure out how to fork it over to run it all on Waxdao, just because then we would actually use it way more than I think we're doing now.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, I remember Ethereum had like Aragon DAO and some other. Is that what you did, or
Yeah.
did you build your own?
No, we're using snapshot.org.
Oh, okay,
Which
gotcha.
honestly is capable and fine.
Yeah,
But
you
it's
know
just
what,
we're not
what
on
I
that
like?
ecosystem, right? It's just not
What I like about Snapshot a lot is that they have lots of different voting mechanics. You can configure very diverse rules on how to approve something. Do you have something like that here on Waxdao, Mike?
I sort of do. There's a few different options for how the votes can be, but one thing that I haven't fully implemented yet that I've been planning on is I always get the terminology wrong here, but the not ranked choice.
Mhm.
I think it's the one where you could split votes. Like, all right, I vote 50% for this one and 25% for this
Okay.
one, or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not called ranked choice. It's called something else, but it's not coming to me right now.
Yeah,
I want to.
to be honest, I don't know the names.
Yeah, I do want to implement that feature though. I've been planning on that for a while.
Yeah, because at some point I wanted to make Nifty Blocks a DAO, at least for some things, have a real governance where people holding Nifty were able to decide on which features to build next and so on. But I was not able to find a suitable platform, and this was a long time ago. So I think you had something, but the UI was not very nice, and I was like, oh, I want something nicer for the users. But I think that since then things have changed a lot in your project. The UI is now much better, and so on. So yeah, maybe we should reconsider that.
I appreciate you saying that. That's been my biggest personal gripe with my platform as well as well as other people's biggest complaint is the UI. It's improved a lot over time because I've redone it, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have the best UI in the game. I know it's not great, but it gets the job done. It's gotten a lot better. There's only so much I could do with the limited funding I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder, yeah, how we all do on the Wax ecosystem, because yeah, with limited funding, we're all trying to make things as good as we can, but yeah, there's always something missing.
yeah, a
Always.
million people.
Yeah,
Like that's the only thing I want. Like, because we have so many tools. How many times have we heard on the show and everybody else? And you're all right. Every person who's ever said this is correct. There's so many cool things and cool tools on Wax. People don't really know about them. Whatever. Fine. Honestly, that's up to developers to make a UX that like uses all that stuff. That's one thing. But it's just fucking people, right? Like onboarding people into this experience is the thing that we haven't been focused on enough. And like Juan and I are trying to think about it a little bit more. But like everybody, like Mike, you're thinking about it right now. Like the people that are here, the core community, we love you. You're fucking fantastic. We need to add 3 zeros to this as quickly as humanly possible. So, and then that's just it's not gonna fix everything, but it's gonna make everything a hell of a lot more fun and more profitable for everybody. And hey, you're part of the people that were here when there was like 500 or 1,000 active people. And, we need to get back to the point where there's 1 million active wallets on Wax. And that's just like, it has to be the obsessive focus.
Yeah.
And it's tough to do because you either need that quote unquote killer application or just something that just hypes people like Farmers World or what a mining network or whatever else we had back in the day.
Right.
But aside from that, it's.
So you're saying we just need something that's hyperinflationary? Fuck. That's a joke.
Aside from that, it's pretty difficult.
You're right. It's not easy to do.
In my opinion, the onboarding experience is not great. Most people seem to disagree with me on that. I don't know.
It's hard. I mean, like the Wax Cloud wallet's all right, but you need like, it would be one thing if it was, free, and I understand why it's not, just because people bought the shit out of it or whatever. But yeah, it's like a non-trivial lift to get people into the Wax ecosystem. That's something that we're thinking about. So there's one thing that Ton has done exceptionally well with these mini apps is basically just like you're playing the app and you're seeing number go uppy or whatever. You don't even worry about it. You're like, wait a minute, I can bring this into like a crypto wallet. Now you're thinking about it or what have you. But like that initial bit is completely frictionless, right? Like it's just as easy as setting any app up on your phone. I think it's something that we could at least take a look at. But yeah, no, I kind of agree. Like it's not simple, right? Like if you're sitting down with somebody for a beer and you can't get them onboarded into Wiener or freaking AI God or whatever, before a couple sips of your beer is done, you're gonna lose people, right? So like that's just, we have to get it to the point where people feel like they're in the ecosystem, and they don't have to be all the way into the ecosystem, right? But they feel like enough that they can start to kind of understand it and feel connected to it.
Yeah, it's just if you're on another network, what most people are doing right now, running from network to network for this whole bull market for the last, year it's been basically, you basically log into your Rabbi or MetaMask or whatever other wallet, and you click on the network tab, you go to Rhino or some other bridge, layer 0 bridge, and you click network, token, switch, and then you're transacting on the other network, and that's it. You don't need to set up anything. You have the same address on both chains. You need to do literally nothing besides just click a button. And it's like, it's so hard for us with our amazing account structure, which is awesome, and permission structure, but it also is a big pain point in onboarding people. As a side note, I did hear Greymass announce that they're working on something with MetaMask, but I don't know what that's going to look like yet.
Yeah, I think Greymass just got 5 million EOS funding to keep on developing tools for, basically wallets and onboarding and so on for EOS. But I hope that most of what they will do will benefit Wax as well.
I just want to point out that sometimes I do shit like this, and I want to apologize formally for doing it, because now I'm fucking annoyed. In a good way. There's a feature that is being built that I heard about yesterday that I think could be huge for the space. Can't say anymore. So everyone, please give TC a warm fuck you. But also, it's very exciting. TC, you're gonna have to tell me. He won't if he's not allowed. Anyway, so I mean, there's the thing. Like, there's things coming to the space. I think as long as we're identifying the sort of the points of friction that are the kind of top level. Like, what's the industry standard that's working everywhere else, right? And how do we sort of make sure that we're at least competitive on those fronts? It feels like in a lot of ways we're starting to do that, which like hopefully a lot of this stuff has some good effects on that.
Yeah, but okay, Mike, the newest thing that you're working on, if I'm not mistaken, are the liquid stake tokens, right?
Wax Fusion, yes, I've been working on that for 4 months.
It's a great name.
Okay, Wax Fusion. Can you
liquid stake token?
Bit?
Wax Fusion. I'm already in. I don't even know what it is.
All right, I'll talk about it. Before I do, I feel the need to point out, since Alcor just launched LSW recently.
Yeah.
I've been planning this for literally over a year. And there are a few people in this space that know that. So I just want to point that out. I'm not the type of guy that's going to see somebody launch something and like steal their idea right away or anything. But with that being said, it's basically a liquid staking token. It's like LSW, if that helps you wrap your head around it, but it's a lot more advanced and complex. What they have is basically, a basic version of a liquid staking token. You deposit your wax, it gets staked for you. You get a liquid token in return. So you're earning from your staked wax while you also have the liquid token. Wax Fusion works similar, but basically there's going to be a few different sources of rewards for people. So first of all, there's going to be protocol-owned liquidity that's going to be deposited into one of the smart contracts, which is going to be locked in there forever. It's never going to be withdrawn. It's owned by the protocol. It's going to keep compounding over time. So when users stake their wax into the protocol, they're going to get the liquid token, which is going to auto compound over time from the staking rewards from their wax that they deposited. But then there's also the protocol-owned liquidity, which is also generating wax. They're going to earn from that. And then both of those batches of wax are also going to be rented out for CPU and stuff like that. The fees collected from that are also going to go to users. So they're earning from like 4 different things. There's also going to be another source of rewards, which is obviously there's going to be some like lock period involved in this and having to wait to get your tokens back. So we're going to have a pool of instant redemption tokens, which may or may not be available at all times. There's going to be a small fee for an instant redemption if somebody wants their tokens like instantly. Those fees are also going to go to users.
It's funny. Even the difference on LSW, I think that could be more significant than what I saw in LSW. Just from my own sort of reactions on it, right? Like, oh, I need the token right now. I'm gonna pay like what fucking $2 or whatever the hell it was. Like it's always been really, really low. That I think there might even be room to sort of increase that a little bit, but then especially if I know that it's going to the rewards anyway, like if I really want to degen out, like I'll probably fucking do it. But anyway, so I try and kind of understand and maybe just reiterate, because I think like Juan and I are going to be talking about everything that you've just said for the next 4 or 5 hours, I'm sure, just because there's a lot of really interesting things there. The idea that there's multiple different ways to sort of auto compound, that was Adrian and Juan and I yesterday's show, we're talking about a bunch of that stuff, as far as how we can run that kind of thing. Juan, wouldn't it make sense for us to be like, when we make our initial liquidity, don't make it with wax, make it with this?
Yeah,
right, like as like an obvious thing. Now the second part of that, I don't want to, so like I like that, Alcor has the thing. I haven't really fucked around with it yet, but you could basically lock LP. It's not really burning, but it's locking. Fine. Would there be a way using your stuff so that we could have the same experience of locking LP away as if it was burned, it's gone forever, locked contract, but the rewards for that LP aren't just going away, right? Because like if you burn it, the rewards for that LP don't exist anymore, right? But if we could have some way to effectively lock it ad nauseum forever, but the rewards for that LP automatically go back into the that LP pool or are usable by the projects in some way.
All right, so there's a lot to digest there. Where is your LP going to be deposited? What platform?
Right now we are using Taco for liquidity pools. The main reason we are using Taco at the moment is because you get an LP token, and we can send that LP token to EOSIO.no, so it gets locked permanently. And the other thing is that rewards get compounded there, unlike with Alcor, where those rewards have to be claimed, and if you renounce the ownership, those rewards are basically lost. They are not immediately get sent back to the pool.
Right. So that's kind of the open question, right? Like we love the idea of being able to create a permanent liquidity floor, right? Like that's where we're burning the LP tokens. That's kind of what that's about. But all of that stuff is generating fees. And as long as EOSIO.null owns that token, those fees are effectively gone, right? So like if there's a way to kind of do the lockup that Alcor is doing,
You know, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good.
No, go ahead.
Um, well, there's two parts to this because I think I don't fully understand which part of the fees you're asking about right now. But you do know that we have a token locker for Taco LP tokens, right? That we've had for like a year.
No, assume I'm an idiot.
Oh no, well, not an idiot. Just I'm not good at marketing. Probably is what it is. But yeah, we have a LP token locker for Taco and DeFi box. Outcourse positions weren't transferable when I built it. I actually asked them to if they could come up with a way to implement transferable LP positions so that I could add it to my token locker a while ago.
I think they did have that
Oh,
before.
cool.
Yeah.
That used to be how it ran. Okay, so back top level. So the LP token locker, what does that do?
You deposit your LP tokens into one of the Waxdao contracts. That one's open source to the liquidity locker, and you can set the lock period from anywhere up to like 5 years, and you could extend it later if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what you're trying to. So does it auto compound or does it?
That's the question. Like
Well,
I don't.
the
We
thing
haven't really
if
seen it. I'm
it's,
wondering if it's possible.
If it is Taco or DeFi box, it will auto compound. If it's Alcor, it won't because the rewards don't go back to the liquidity pool automatically, because they are basically they are using the Uniswap v3 version of pools, while Taco and DeFi box Uniswap v2 version.
So either way, the tokens that get locked are going to be in wherever you put them, right? So I guess my question is like, no matter what account they're in, how do you plan on getting the fees out if you don't plan on unlocking the tokens later?
We're not
right. No, but that's something I'm learning.
On getting the fees out. The fees should go back to the pool, which is what happened with Uniswap v2.
So that's happening already, is what you're saying, Juan?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. I don't think I didn't understand that before. So that's cool. So even like the LP in there right now, because of the fees, it's actually growing right now. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, the fees are really there.
Time. And if we made our primary LP with the Wax Fusion token or the Wax Fusion protocol, whatever we're calling that thing, again, great name. Then we'd be auto compounding like 4 different ways all the time.
That's my whole sort of pitch in the documentation for Wax
Fusion, pitch,
because it's hard for people to wrap their heads around it because it's very complex when I try to explain it. But what it all boils down to basically is like, why would you ever hold Wax tokens in your wallet for providing liquidity and stuff like that when you can just have the token? You can literally deposit the liquidity and still get the staking rewards from the Wax if you're using liquid tokens.
And why would we be? I mean, this is going, if we do kind of the counterfactual, right? Like we've been starting with Wax because that's kind of the initial thing that people sort of kind of understand or whatever, right? But again, like all liquidity is network liquidity now because of things like Wax on Edge. So somebody comes in and wants to spend Wax, it's just going to route through a bunch of different pools anyway. So like if we were to focus on using a token like that as our primary LP, especially the primary LP that's going to get locked, right? Like we keep thinking in terms of the entire TVL for our sort of family of projects or what have you, is a number that we're really interested in. And then that number is kind of just going up naturally, right? Like as people sort of run transactions through the system, which is a pretty sexy thing in my humble view.
Yeah,
I fully agree. What Packer says is easier would be able to lock on Alcor and keep the fee rewards on another account. Yeah, that makes sense, but I guess not if it's going to null. But I did see him mention earlier, Avril, that I think he just wanted to start off with the ISIO.null as like a test run or something. I think they're going to be activating that feature for other wallets soon, maybe.
Yeah, so I mean this is kind of going back to an option that I think would be interesting to have, and I think Waxpack is kind of bringing this up a little bit. So could we have a situation where project is setting up a significant amount of LP in the beginning, and instead of burning it, is say locking it for 5 years, but those rewards that you could have claimed, I just want to get this out, the rewards that you could have claimed, could be going to the project owner or to the rewards account or what have you that aren't necessarily auto compounding.
Yeah, but that can be solved in a too easy way if just by keeping on using Taco or a DeFi box. What you do is that you get the LP token and you put the LP token in a vesting contract, and then you can get it after 5 years, after 2 months, after whatever time you want.
Right, but then like where can we have it set up so that those projects have access to the rewards fees from that?
Well, after
not in
5 years, you will get them.
No, but like it could be a usable
okay,
thing.
you want to
right?
get them earlier.
Yeah. Like or even if it was like redirecting to the rewards account or something like that, right? Like
yeah, so then it's more, let's say, the Alcor way of doing it, but being able to claim the rewards for the projects instead of having those rewards like
right. And but like the LP is locked,
forever.
but the rewards are still potentially available to the projects for whatever they want to do with it.
Yeah, that's another way indeed.
Good talk.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of mechanics involved with all these different
yes.
liquidity things. I just had to do a lot of research into the Uniswap V3 formulas for Wax Fusion and for the token farms. It's not all that crazy once you wrap your head around it, but getting from like no knowledge on it to being able to figure out all that square root x96 shit and stuff like that is
there's a
That's
project
awesome.
I love on Solana, and I can't remember the name right now, which is about liquid staking, but the rewards are not always back in Solana. So for example, you come and you stake Solana and you have a liquid stake Solana token, and the rewards you get are not Solana, but you can receive WIF, you can receive any other token to your as the rewards. So for example, here we could have something where you say, let's stake Wax, and you get a liquid staked Wax token, but what you get as rewards, of course, it will be paid on Wax, but you the protocol immediately swaps that for example for Winner, and you're staking Wax, but your rewards are Winner. Do you think that's something where you see your protocol going to in the future?
I do actually really like the idea. I'd have to I'm waiting on the final audit results back again.
Okay, cool.
For the last contract. I've driven that guy crazy probably with like all the back and forth. But I do want to add more features in the future. I just have to get like this core version ready already. It's been 4 months now. But I definitely like that idea a lot.
Yeah, it's fun. It's almost like a script that basically just takes the reward Wax and auto buys it and then sends it. Just like swaps it first and then sends it over.
It for another token, so you immediately get exposed to that token without having to swap your Wax for that token. So I think it's a nice combination.
That's interesting.
Something I might be able to do is like a proxy contract that uses the token farms that I built. So it's not so I'm not complicating the core contract too much. I could build a separate one that takes maybe rewards from protocol and liquidity and does exactly what you just said, and then just like automatically creates a token farm where like all the people holding LS Wax are staked into it.
Yeah,
something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean that's the same functionality basically, right?
Cool,
yeah,
indeed.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's very interesting, and I think that's something that we could easily collaborate on, because that will be very nice for all the all the meme token teams.
Super useful for anybody that's doing a drop.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Man, I'm excited to freaking start making pools with this freaking auto compounding token, for crying out loud. Like that's just get that out, release that as quickly as you possibly can.
I'm dying
obviously
to, man.
making it work.
I just I feel bad for the guy, so I haven't messaged him. I'm just waiting for him to get back to me, the auditor, because he audited 4 different contracts, and this last one has been like 3 times now where I've resubmitted it. The last time I submitted it was like I literally had to rewrite the entire staking system because
Oh,
I realized after I submitted it the second time, I was like, wait a second, this is bad because I was giving out rewards once per day, like at one time. Every day
Mhm.
there would be a distribution, and anybody holding at that exact snapshot would get the rewards. And I realized that's so stupid because you're gonna have people front running the reward
Yeah.
and selling in the same block and getting like a whole shitload of rewards. Excuse my language. I don't know if you curse on
yeah.
here, but
I don't know if you've heard me. I probably dropped I carpet bomb on this thing, which I shouldn't do. I should be cooler and not say the F word every other word. But you're fine, is my point.
all right, thank you. Well, anyway,
Mhm.
I rewrote the whole thing, and now it pays out every second instead, so it's a lot smoother now.
Nice. I think that's really nice, paying out every second.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's even like watching like number go uppy, man. Like it's legit.
and it basically does exactly what you were asking about earlier with the daily farms, because basically every day new staking rewards are going to come in and
Right.
stuff. So it's going to wait for 24 hours to go by, and the second it goes by, well, it's not necessarily going to happen the second after, but the next time someone interacts with the contract
Mhm.
after the previous reward has elapsed, the next one's just automatically going to start again with whatever funds are pending.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that'll work. So is it possible for every tool a builder makes that can be used in multiple projects, they get a special token that gets added to pools, so they get a share of those rewards? So if I'm understanding this correctly, TC, like you make a tool on Wax and sort of anything that gets run through that, there's like another token that we could sort of give to project runners. Now, then the question is like, you can get tokens out to everybody. Who's buying the token is always the most critical thing, right? So like, what's your thoughts on maybe having even like some kind of reward system that could be used for anytime anybody uses the kind of tools or apps that you make?
Yeah, so this is something I've actually been planning on building for a while, but it wouldn't be a token per se. I really like loyalty points programs that certain
Mm.
projects build, and that's exactly a use case for that. You get loyalty points for all your interactions based on, you know, how high you value a certain interaction on a certain contract or whatever, and over time, people get more
Mm.
reward points, and then maybe something like the Woofy airdrop comes along, and you distribute it based
Right.
on those loyalty points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's nice.
Even as like a way to start accruing points for the OIG. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's like if your stuff is getting measurably used, that should definitely count for something. Yeah, so just think that anyone that builds something should get rewarded. I think that as a principle is something that I think we would all agree on. Any way that we can do that is going to be good.
I'd like to see more incentive programs like hackathons and things like that. We don't really have any organized efforts to get people to do stuff. I mean, I know we obviously have the OIG system, you know, the BP
Mhm.
pay and whatnot, which is an incentive program for people to build things, but I don't see much in terms of activity of like engaging developers. And I know part of that is on us as well, but we only have so much time and energy, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I am kind of against hackathons that only include developers, because I think that unpopular opinion here, I think that we have too many developers on Wax. The problem is that we only have developers.
I can agree with that.
We don't have entrepreneurs. We have a lot of artists, we have a lot of developers, but we don't have entrepreneurs. And if we want to succeed, we need entrepreneurs. We need people who really wants to make a business, who really wants to build profitable business. Yesterday, during the governance call, the Wax governance call, somebody was saying, "Oh, I'm just developing my game, and I want it to run there, and I don't want to put money in, and I don't want to make money." I was about to tell him, "Man, go home. I don't want you here. Get out of here. If you don't want to make money, don't come here.
Yeah,
If
it's
you don't want to make money, go to charity blockchain, because we don't want to be charity blockchain here. We want to be a successful blockchain where people can make money. There's nothing wrong with make money. If you're someone who thinks that money is evil, then get out of here. I don't want you in my side."
I think a big part of that is what we were talking about earlier. Is just there's so much of a stigma around people trying to make money, and I hate that so much. It's like
Yeah.
you can make money and still be a good person, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm self-centered. I'm in crypto to get rich. I'm not lying to anybody about it. But
I mean, if you're in crypto not to get rich, like, are you serious?
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
Like, I mean, again, like we want to build things that have inherent value for people, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to like just kind of, fucking launch bullshit and take people's money. That's like none of the people that watch this show are anything like that, right? We want to build things that have, functional community value, or like things that have real inherent goodness.
Yes.
And then people buy that thing and we make money. Like that should just be a thing that is like obvious to everyone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We want to get rich,
except for Rare Rug. He wants to rug everybody. But that's it's his thing. He's very good at it.
We want to get rich by providing value to people and doing stuff that we like to do. That's all.
In the end, that's the only correct way to get rich. If you get rich by rogging people, that's not good. But if you get rich by adding value, that's the way to go.
Yep.
You should. Nobody should be ashamed of that.
Got to grow the wiener.
Come on, Corey, please behave.
Dude, I love larger hot dogs. I don't know what you keep thinking about, but I just think that hot dogs should constantly grow, and hot dogs have wieners in them. And so,
okay.
Dude, the problem is, like, now that you've reacted to that, I'm never gonna let it go. I can't let it go now. It's too funny. Sorry, Mike.
Oh no, you're good, man. I'm having a blast over here.
Good. Excellent. I mean, the other thing is, like, at some point people are gonna have to grow their bags.
Oh yes.
I mean, right?
Yes.
And so,
absolutely.
like,
With that, I fully agree.
The bigger your wiener is, the more bags you have.
Come on, Corey, please.
It's just now that I know that I can make your face do that every time, I want to formally apologize to everybody else because I'm never gonna let it go. It's too good. Yeah, there you go. Here's the Wiener Queen. It's just hot dogs, Juan. Come on now.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, dude, it's funny. You actually get like a little pink, a little red in the face. All right, there you go. I mean, oh no. Scrawn. All right, so I want to take it back to the simple staking thing, especially like if it's something that, and it kind of sounds like it's going to be like this anyway, as far as like the sort of a token farm or like a contract that we can do, right? So like, the drops that come on board, they're going to have these reward accounts, right? So like if there's a simple way, and I think Megan's going to be a great example of the Wiener team. They're brand new to crypto, right? So like having it set up so that, they could go to Waxdao and figure out a very simple way to create that loop, right? People want to buy Wiener, they want to stake it, they want to have access to the rewards pool that's accruing.
The thing is that they should, not I don't want them to go to Waxdao, Mike, don't get me wrong. They should be using all of that, but that should happen directly from launchbacks.
Yes.
I think that from launchbacks, you should have the option to say, okay, I want to create these farms. I want to create this,
I agree.
and do it from there.
And which is like powered by Waxdao. Like I want like
for sure, 100%. And it should be transparent that it's Waxdao in the back. That's for sure. The only challenge I have right now is that with the partnership with Wax on Edge, we are doing a lot of development for that because we are doing the swap widget that will be embeddable in any place. We are working on the infrastructure so that we don't crash Waxdao in the next token launch. So we are kind of busy there.
Yep. Yeah, the Wiener was too big. It broke the internet.
Yeah.
There's always so much to do, man. It's hard to
it's true. But
as far as the launch bags versus Waxdao thing or whatever, I take no offense to that. If you looked at the docs that I sent you earlier, I literally set it up like that on purpose. I want people to build their own thing around it. The only thing is,
but even if we use your contract and we are using a UI that we create for your contract, I think that your business model should be such that you are earning something because we are using the platform.
Yeah. Even if it's taking like a little bit of a percentage and there's like a cost to set it up or something like that.
That's exactly how it's set up. So for all my products on Waxdao, I basically charge like 250 wax base price, but realistically, nobody ever really pays that because I purposely set it up like that where it's say 250 wax, but if you pay with Waxdao tokens, it's 20% off or whatever. With this partner contract that I built for the token farms, again, the base price is 250 wax, but I'm going to have a partner discount. So somebody like if you guys are a partner and you build your own, I'll add Nifty to the contract as a partner and add whatever discount I want to add for you guys. And then I can also add different tokens besides wax. Obviously, I'm only going to add, good tokens. But if I added the Nifty token, let's say I add another discount for paying in Nifty, like you guys would get a hefty discount between Nifty token and Nifty being a partner. And then I also have it
Cool.
built into the contract that you can configure it to add on a certain percentage fee for farms that are created using your contract. So like if you let's say with your discount a farm is like 100 wax or something, right? If you set your percentage fee to 100%, your front end is going to call that action and it's going to determine that, okay, the cost is 100 wax. Um, my partner fee is 100%. The user is going to send 200 wax to the contract, and then your fees that you take are going to get redirected to wherever you have it set up to.
Nice.
Yeah, I built it on purpose because I want other people to build on it. And honestly, I would really love to open source it too. I just want to make sure that I at least get like somebody to build on it before I make the code available to everybody. Just because the incentive isn't really there to open source as far as guild pay goes. But if I
Yeah.
if I get one decent project, like if you guys were to use the platform at that point, I really have no problem open sourcing it.
I think we will definitely use it. I think, there's
Yeah,
no
it makes too
reason
much
for
sense
us
not
to
to.
build to build our own. There's no point in that.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
it's
do
cool,
it.
cool utility for Nifty or whatever you decide to do too.
I mean, it's a need we have right
exactly.
now, right? I mean, like
Yeah,
for Wiener creating a really simple staking loop, and again, like it's accruing rewards every time the token gets moved, right? I think that just lets us finish that part of it, which is a really vital part, right? Like why am I buying more if I'm a degen or whatever? If I really react to I see the potential in this or whatever. So obviously I want to own some wiener or whatever. But like if I could stake it and like there's this reward system where all of the volume that's taking place, is going to be potentially rewarding me. It's a fucking no brainer. Like it's something
yeah,
I want to buy more and I want to take it off the market.
yeah. And right now we could start by having links to go to Waxdao, and in the future, when we have the time to fully integrate it, we integrate it, and that's it.
Sure. And I just to make it clear, I haven't actually deployed this yet fully. I just like basically finished writing the contracts.
Oh, cool.
I got sidetracked with the partner contract because that wasn't even part of the original idea. And then as I was trying to set it up for partners, I was like, why don't I just write my own contract for them? And then that was another rabbit hole, all the unit testing and stuff I had to do. I'm
Yeah,
ready. I'm going to start working on the front end probably like today or something. But
Yeah, I like the idea of having the and I think it'd be safe to say, obviously I'll talk to Megan and AJ about this. Chances are this is just exactly what they will want to do. And if it's like, a week away, 2 weeks away, or whatever it is, I think it's still maximum hype as far as
yeah,
I'm concerned. And if it makes sense to wait for us to do the partner thing so we can kind of get that in place, then
yeah,
it's probably worth even just taking the time to do it so we can do it right. And then have that as the example, right? Because like
yeah,
obviously, like we create some momentum for Wiener doing this, then it just becomes the thing to do. And then if people are used to doing that in launch bags and in the partner program or however we set the back end of that stuff up, then I think that'll make a lot of sense. Because I had some ideas. I'm going to talk to you guys off air about it or whatever, but where some
yeah.
things we could do right at launch that I think would benefit everybody.
and by the way, if you guys have any like suggestions or anything like that about this contract, definitely let me know before I deploy it onto mainnet so that I could, make any adjustments if necessary. One thing that I haven't
Cool.
mentioned, which I think is pretty cool, is I added a optional setting for farm creators to set a vesting period. So if they want people to have to lock their tokens for anywhere from 1 to 30 days when they lock in the farm, they can configure it that way. So like it doesn't have to be there. It could be no lock at all. but if a farm creator wants to, they can set it so if you
Okay.
want to stake in my farm, you have to lock your tokens for 30 days or 15 days or whatever.
That's almost
That's
like
interesting.
it's kind of like a sort of the cooldown or whatever. It reminds me of Luna. Never mind that Luna fell down. Like the fact that the unstake time on that was 30 days. I think had a pretty huge effect on how long people were keeping stuff there. Never mind that they totally screwed themselves over on the rest of the mechanics. We don't have to do that. So is that kind of the thing, right? So like even if so I stake, 1 day, I have to be there. Basically the tokens are there for 30 days, whether I like it or not, right? That block.
If the farm owner configures it that way, it's optional. It doesn't have to be a lock period, but
Right. But it's something we could set up if we wanted to.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Which is cool because you could also, if somebody wanted to, like I've seen a lot of projects do this. And I know it's being that the max lock currently, I have it set at 30 days. I guess it doesn't really leave that much room for different options, but I've seen so many projects out there who will have like a 7-day farm that rewards X% and a 15 or 30-day reform that rewards more.
More.
So people
Yeah.
could also do something like that where if you lock longer, you get a bigger share of the rewards or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Even if it was like in stages, right? I mean, that's sort of like if we you stake like a little amount or whatever, or I mean if it's locked for like the whole bonk thing, right? If you stake for a month you get X, if you stake for 3 months you get X, if you stake for 6 months you get double, right? So like if your relative mining weight for the amount of money that you're putting in, like I would immediately default to 6 months on everything that I did, right? Not everybody want to do that. You might be making a shorter bet or whatever, blah, 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 right? But like that at least then it allows us to benefit the people that want to be around longer term or with larger amounts or whatever it is, right? Like, so if you have a bunch of those stages that are kind of set up in there where like as somebody introduced to the space, I now have kind of different targets, right? Like, okay, if I go longer, I'm doing better. If I go bigger, I'm doing better. Like that's fucking cool as shit.
It gives you targets to shoot for, and it also
Right.
just helps with locking up some of the supply.
Yes.
So hey, Janice, if you could let us know where you're getting this. This is something that we've been talking about a lot as far as like how to sort of track these numbers. Apparently 50% more TVL in the past 50 days on Wax, 100% in volume with good spikes. I mean, we're doing some shit. Things are happening.
Yeah, I think that it's underrated how much AI God and Winner have impacted the TVL because I've seen some swap protocols on Wax that have basically no liquidity,
Mhm.
and if you think about it, only with Winner. On the first day, on the IDO day, we had over $24,000 TVL in the pools.
Yeah, it was good. I mean,
So
honestly,
yeah,
I'm
I
really
think it was
excited to
good.
do
Only
like
one day.
the kinds of things that we did right off the bat to get it to that point. I think we can actually enhance those by 100% for a non too if we want to.
Yes, and after our chat with Adrian for yesterday, I'm rethinking the mechanism that we will use for the IDOs and fair launch to
Okay.
make it more interesting and to have greater potential of more liquidity and not affecting the price so much immediately. So I'm thinking about that. Obviously, allowing people to still make the 8-10x that they have been making on the
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
launchpad drops.
the first day 10x is it's kind of our thing. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that ultimately, I think as a community, we're really interested in the entire TVL of the space. So, Janice, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're going to be laser focused on the TVL for projects that launch with launchbacks. And honestly, like I'm sort of curious, and maybe we could do something like this on Wax on Edge or something. It's probably for like longer down the road or whatever. But if I can, it would be really interesting to track the TVL of the projects that we launch and that are partnered with us on our launches. Because I think that's going to be
Yeah.
an interesting number.
Yeah, I think that's not the top priority right
It's
now
not.
with Wax
No,
on
you're right.
Edge,
It's
but
not. Yeah,
but
no,
it will come later. Yeah.
you guys have some very large fish to fry.
Yeah, we had we were in a call this morning with Waxpack and the rest
Yeah.
of the team, and we have very clear priorities of
Good,
where
good.
where we are going right now.
Yeah.
And liquidity and stability are the main priorities and focus at the moment.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Even like TVL, the top 100, if that was an easy number to calculate, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Right. On all of Wax on Edge. Obviously that well, I was gonna say that ignores those the shitty ones with no TVL that have tons of volume, but fuck those ones.
Yeah.
All right, tracking it already. We freaking get it. Give me that number. That'd be really good. That'd be really fun to have. Especially like tracked over time. I think is going to be the interesting part of that.
Yeah, no. I think that's a good, and Waxpack already has a great database with all of that. But we are also planning a full rewrite of the user interface. We want something more usable, more more like what you see on other chains. So that's in the roadmap.
Awesome.
And then we can add that kind of statistics because everything it's already there.
It'll be there already. That's awesome.
Yeah,
man, I'm excited, especially because like I use Wax on every day. So if it gets better, I'm just gonna have harder nipples. What?
Yep.
So hey, TC's asking, like, can you show how to back tokens on Waxdao?
Oh yes, that's amazing. That's something that we should know more about, man.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so thank you for the question.
Yeah, Jose actually, I wouldn't say helped me set it up per se, but he set up an Oracle and he gave me a lot of feedback when I was setting it up. I mean, I could show you if you need to, but basically just go to the wild on Waxdao.
Yeah, no, let's do it. Let's do it live, or just like walk us through it. It would like
that would be amazing
for visual learners.
Do you guys have I guess I could share my screen maybe.
Yeah, you can share your
just
screen.
hit the present button down on the bottom.
I don't even actually. This is difficult because I'm on two computers here. And
here. Where? Tell me where to go, and I'll just tell me what to do.
Yeah, just go to waxdao.io/wallet. Preferably with a wallet that has NFTs in it.
Yeah, that's
heard.
That is useful.
I should mention also that I made some updates to that contract today to optimize it a bit. Previously, you'll see when you go to the wallet tab on Waxdao there that there's a claim section, which hopefully I didn't break because I need to update the UI now. But previously, the way that it worked was that each NFT was stored in the table, and once the Oracle signed off on that NFT becoming burned and claimable, it would update that row, and basically you'd get a list on the page of like all the different NFTs that you've burned and can claim it, tokens from, which is like such a weird UI. If you click, even if you just click select all, or you could select individual NFTs, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Bulk actions right there. Back.
Oh, so you fucking do it?
You could back up to 60 NFTs at once there in one transaction.
What the fuck?
Yeah, with any token that you want.
Cool.
Yeah, but basically, previously you had to claim like individually from each NFT, and it was just a bad UI. So I redesigned the contract now so that instead of it working like that, as soon as an NFT becomes burned and claimable for a user, the balances from that NFT get moved into their. It's all in one row now. So when you go to that page from now on to claim, all you're going to see is one single list of what you have claimable, and that's it. You just claim everything in one shot. So it's going to be a lot smoother now.
That's awesome. Sorry, I was just looking at the example token amount.
Yeah.
All right. This NFT is going to get backed with is that $1 billion? Sure.
Let's hope that it works.
Boom.
Now, are you going to give away that NFT?
Only beta testers.
What did I do there? I guess I have to
open it up.
That contract.
We have Mike over here. It says contact Mike.
It says contact Mike D for access. Hey, Mike D.
Shit. Whoops.
Either way, no, dude, it's all good. It's do a million. I'm gonna do a billion TC, and then I'm sending it to you because you keep fucking yelling at me about backing NFTs with tokens. So there you go. So here's a question.
Don't send it to TC. Create a share link and share it here.
I'll do two. If I want to back Wax, will it use Atomic Asset or your own contract?
The contract can handle it, but I have my front end set up to route through Atomic Assets when you use Wax, just because, why wouldn't I guess?
Yeah.
Use what's around.
Yeah, plus it's just a smoother experience because it just automatically gets sent as soon as it's burned. I'm updating this right now. You should be good to go if you try again.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're
no
good.
problem.
Just gonna get into hold music is the best stuff. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna select all of those goofball little things. Where is there? How do I select
the bottom? I'm pointing at it like you can
this one right
here. Yeah.
Been there. All right, so all of these little guitar wielding. I'm only gonna give two away though, because I want to keep one forever and ever. But I'm gonna back them all because you can do that now.
You're going to lose your tokens there.
What's that?
You'll have to burn the NFT to get back your tokens.
I'm aware.
Okay.
You wait till you see what we're going to be doing with the and actually, Mike, I might actually have Tuttle chat with you about this as well.
Sounds good, man.
We have a situation where that's going to actually run a blend right now, but we'll maybe explore whether this is smarter. Anyway, like the stuff that you're going to win with Flip Tribes, you're going to win this like super fancy victory NFT. And right now the plan is like you can basically blend it with some different stuff to get access to your AI god winnings. Theory being is like the vast majority of people aren't going to want to do that, and it might actually make for an interesting secondary market or whatever. But it's going to be insidious and fun.
Yeah. No, I think it's easier if you just back the NFT with tokens.
That might be there's some opportunities that we can add things on in a blend. That were kind of why we were sort of leaning in that direction. It's the same net result for the end user, but there's like a bunch of different things that we can add in as amplifiers or requirements or whatever, right? So like that's sort of where that stuff was. Anyway, whatever. Let's fucking make this thing work.
The topic has been asked of me a few times also of like, what if you could set up a blend that requires the person to have X amount of tokens backed in the NFT in order to blend it into another one that's backed or something like that. I think cool stuff could be built around that. But
yes, that's an interesting one.
It is interesting.
Like if you had 3 of some NFT that are all backed with 1 NFT token each, the person could blend the 3 together and get 1 NFT that's backed with 5 NFT or something like that.
Yeah, that's interesting indeed.
Not sure what he's after here, but you should add the backed feature to the tool section on the site. Is it just because we were like, it's not in tools? I don't know what he's talking about there, but
no, that's the tools in the navigation bar. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so then I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna make a link that we can share some stuff out with here. What am I doing here? Blink. TC, DM me your wallet again. I'm keeping mint number 1 because I'm a degen and I just need to make a gift link. Get your clicker fingers ready. What if you make a pool that you can only enter if your NFT is backed?
I was asked about this yesterday. I actually do like the idea. Like an NFT farm, I guess. Yeah. It's just for me right now, I have so much going on. I wouldn't say it's a huge priority.
Hey. Just point your phone at that.
I think it's already claimed.
No way.
Yeah, it must be already claimed.
Got bots watching the show.
Yes.
No. All right. Well, you think it's claimed already?
I don't know. I have
okay.
no clue. I'm just saying.
All right. I'm going to leave it up there for a couple more seconds. Yeah, no, that's interesting, especially considering like anyone can go and do this, right, Mike? So like if it's a requirement like to get into an NFT staking pool that you have to stake I don't know XYZ number of Wiener token, for example, to your NFT, like any person can just come to Waxdown and do that, right?
Yeah, anybody can go to their wallet and back any NFT. I mean, you could technically even back someone else's NFT. Um, Atomic Assets works the same way, but
Yeah.
Interesting.
I have it set up since we're obviously using any token. We don't want anything breaking where like someone tries to claim and some broken token contract throws an error and blocks the whole thing. So what I've set up on the contract is that when people submit their claim transaction, they can add in a list of contracts to skip if they want to. So like let's say
Okay.
Marcia token is breaking your claim because they don't have the open action on their contract or whatever. You can just enter whatever their token contract is, Marcia, whatever it is, and it will just skip that one and leave it in the balance row and claim the rest of them.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah, that's good.
it's not
You
the greatest UX, obviously. Like Atomic Assets transfers to you automatically, but they don't need an oracle. Like, we need an oracle for this because we have to make sure that the NFT has been burned and that we know who burned it.
Right.
yeah.
Is
So
there a way that we can incorporate
But
this into the Flip Tribe? Like if we decided to sort of pivot and do backed NFTs instead of a blend, is there a way that we can incorporate this contract into the actual game itself, so it just kind of all runs on the back end?
yeah, I mean the contract is open source. It's on GitHub. Jose knows where it is.
So
yeah,
yes, is what
Jose
you're
knows
saying.
where it is,
All
and
right, rock and roll.
and I think we are even running an oracle in our infrastructure, right?
You are, yeah.
Yeah, and you could use it without a problem.
Interesting. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
All right.
you know
Yeah,
what?
I don't know that we're gonna want to pivot, but it's cool to know that we could. And honestly, like I think any projects that are out there, I think it's gonna be an interesting tool to kind of test out, right? I mean, that's I mean, I know the Wiener team wants to do some really simple kind of NFTs just because they make too many fucking funny pictures
Yeah.
to not do NFTs. But having a simple thing where you could like back some back that NFT with a shit ton of Wiener and then have like a basic Wiener farm on Waxdao just to kind of play with the tools. Like, why wouldn't we do that? I think that just is kind of a fun little game that we could play.
Yeah, you know what I really don't understand, and this is me just me complaining about the atomic assets standard, theoretical standard. Why did you have to develop this when it would have been so much easier to add to the atomic assets standard the possibility to use more tokens when backing NFTs with tokens?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the main argument against it is like the whole RAM thing and whatnot, as far as a token contract could drain the RAM if they're not trusted. But then again, then it circles back to the whole argument of never have RAM on your contract, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but okay, I had to say it. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting, and I think Mike, we're just gonna need to have you on again soon because I'd love to. Literally, really excited that we actually got a chance to talk again. It's been it's just really cool to have you on just to kind of learn a little bit about it. But honestly, I think next time we have you on, we should just go to Waxdao and you should just give us a tour, like the whole thing. I think there's probably tons there that people don't know about. I know there's tons there that I don't know about. So then we could at least start getting the word out about stuff. And honestly, that's the kind of thing that I think we promote in advance. Like if you're running a project, you're going to want to be watching this because there's a bunch of tools that are going to be able to enrich the experience for your community in like pretty meaningful ways.
Just before you say that we are on our hard limit for 1 hour 15 minutes.
You said hard, not me.
Yeah. But I didn't say winner.
Yes, you did just now.
Okay, but my question, Mike, is: do you have a release date for your liquid stake token?
I mean, it's basically ready. I'm just waiting on those audit results. I can't release it without the audit, but I'm really hoping that comes back like real soon.
Cool.
I'd like to launch it in the next week or so,
Cool. Because it will be very nice to create our next pools with a liquid staked
Yes.
token instead of
Yeah.
wax. So yeah,
And honestly, like if
and we could use the one from Alcor, but I would like to have both options available.
Speaking
that's interesting too.
on that topic, real quick, I actually sent you a little DM on Telegram. I forgot to mention earlier when I was talking about Wax Fusion, part of the revenue fund, part of the all the rewards generated is going to go to an ecosystem fund where we're going to be creating farms on Alcor for certain LP pairs. I have Nefty LS Wax as one of those pairs, so
Cool.
part of the revenue is actually going to go to providing liquidity, not providing liquidity, rewarding liquidity.
Rewarding.
That's
Nice.
huge. Yeah, that's
Nefty,
really good.
it's going to be for all LS Wax pairs, Nefty LS Wax, Wombat, Honey, Waxdao, Wax, a few other ones, I think.
Huge.
Yeah, that's really cool. We should
Yeah.
even change the current wax Nifty pool for wax
Fusion.
liquid staked wax for
Yes.
fusion.
I mean, that should be the primary for everybody, right? Like, the downside is effectively nil with network liquidity, and the upside is massive, right? So, like, if you're not doing it, you're basically kicking yourself in the balls.
Yeah, the thing is, but anyway, if you receive liquid staked wax, we could even just as we listed the one from Alcor on Nifty blocks, we could list Fusion, and people should be able to create drops with Fusion directly also. So
100%. Like that's like it makes more sense to use that as your base than it does to use wax.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. That's the whole concept.
No, I also like the next drop. We're gonna just do that, and if we have to coordinate to plan for it, we will. It makes too much sense, and it's close to being done right now. We're not going to drop it on for probably a couple of weeks, I would imagine, right?
I thought we were going to drop it the 25th. Am I wrong? Are we moving that?
That's in 6 days. One.
Okay, then
we're not dropping on the 25th. I would just want to vote
back
for that.
in a first week.
Makes way more sense. Maybe. Like we have to give them a chance to like not only get partners but organize them. And I'm going to be helping, but I'm not going to be running that necessarily, right? So like, that we don't trying to have anyone do that in 6 days. Like we did that with AI God, it was great, but we want this to be big, so we need to give it.
I'm sorry to tell you that with Anon you will have to do a lot of the work.
Why is that?
Because it's Anon.
What do you mean? Like no. That team is capable.
I know that the team is capable, but it's Anon.
I'm aware that they are. It's Anon in every sense of the word. But yeah, no, there will be anonymous actions that they can take up to and including coordinating teams.
Okay.
The whole conversation we were having this morning is like, Corey, you're gonna have to like start not doing so much for all of the teams that are coming on because there won't be time to do that for 100 teams. And he's right, but then he's like, yeah, but do all of it.
Man, you have to do it.
Fucking freaking me out right now. I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to grow your wiener. See his face.
Come on, Corey.
I love you so much. There's no, dude. It's like you just get like, oh, dude, it's too good. I'm not sorry. I was gonna say I'm sorry, but nobody would believe it because it's not true. Mike, thank you so much for coming on, man. Let's plan, another one for before we do the. Actually, maybe when Juan is gone, I'd love to have you on again, and then we can just kind of spend the time doing the tour or what have you. Right, we'll talk about Wax Fusion a little bit more and sort of what's possible with that. And yeah, I mean, I think it's going to become a focus for the projects that are launching on Launchbags. We'll definitely be letting them know as sort of a kind of high level principle or potential best practices or opportunity for them. Right, you can do it however the hell you want, but like look at this thing. I think it's going to be really really good. And then yeah, the sooner we can do some kind of simple. Token contract but have it like done so that you can do the partner thing, and we can get that incorporated in Launchbags and really use Wiener as the initial example. And I think there's probably going to be other projects that want to use that as well. I think it's good. That's pretty fucking solid for a Wednesday.
Sounds pretty good to me. I really appreciate you guys having me on, and definitely look forward to talking more soon. Hopefully I have Wax Fusion launched by the next time I come on.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. Definitely stay in touch.
Sounds good. All right, man. Cheers.
Okay.
Take care.
One, or
This
you
is
want to?
fine.
There's the thing. Bye.